Good idea. Thanks, Mr. Vargo.
And then just share. And then I just hit share from there. And that's how I do it. That's what I do.
That's trying to talk me into switching, but I'm not gonna do it.
Don't fall for that. It's gonna want you to switch. You're not gonna want to do that, Cheri. Oy vey. Well, look at you and your hair. You know what I forgot to do when I got home last night?
What?
Fix my eyebrow. You were trying to pluck.
Oh. I know. I've decided that I've come to the conclusion that it's that time in life when I need to start carrying tweezers with me all the time.
It's the time in my life, apparently, when Cheri needs to start carrying tweezers if she's going to be around me, because we're at the show last night and she's like, you got this one unicorn.
It was just straight out. It was like a unicorn hair.
It's weird because I will like pay attention to my grooming and stuff, and then all of a sudden they'll just be like, I'm like, how did that grow like overnight?
I know.
Like a beard hair or a chin hair or ear hair. Like,
oh.
I'm like, could y'all just go back to the top of my head in the back, because that's where y'all are supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
Look at what I have going on here.
I tried to get in for a haircut and there were 2 booked up. So I'm like, well, I don't want to wait that long. And then I said, okay. And then now I'm still not getting a haircut. I could have an appointment on the books.
That would feel good at least.
So
That's
I don't.
what I should do. Welcome to another episode of
Scrutiny with Cheri and Andy.
I'm Andy Vargo, and this is my bestie,
Cheri Hardman. We decided to do something.
Yeah?
Andy Vargo and I will do anything for attention.
Yes, we will.
I'll tell you what I did. My nails, my hair, and my nails, my hair.
You gotta give yourself credit for all the things you do.
I'll tell you what I did earlier, later.
Now I don't know when it'll happen.
Earlier. And we're here to discuss my nails, my hair, and
Being the best at no matter what it is that you're doing. Now I don't know when it'll happen. So, Cheri, oh my God, where to start? There's so much. We had 2 awesome shows this week. I had stuff to talk about from last week. We got stuff coming up. Where to begin?
Good question. Let's talk about last night. Let's recap last night.
Let's do that. Last night was the Dirty Show at Nate Jackson's Super Funny Comedy Club, and that was a really fun show.
It is such a fun show. It was a fun show. I take credit for the fact that that's a fucking amazing game. And it's never bombed. We always have it's always a hit.
The crowd always loves it. They get into it so much.
But we don't always get a big crowd for that. Although, like when we do it at Odd Otter, that's always one of our biggest tip nights is when we do that show. Yeah. People are like so happy. Everybody last night was happy. Everybody last night enjoyed it. I can say that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It was you, me, Mike Hansen, Jante Osler, and Sabrina K came up from Portland. Sabrina Contreras, whatever. And Sabrina K. I don't know.
Everyone did such a great job.
Yeah, it was really fun. And the people that were there, you know, I got some good feedback. I didn't hear any negative, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Were there any mistakes made on the show? Sure. You know, wasn't perfect, but it was hilarious.
Yeah. And fun. I had decided I was going to do some crowd work, and that was just a lot of fun. I really enjoyed.
Yeah. It was really good. They were all like, "Ooh, Andy came in hot." Like so yeah, you got some admiration last night, so you should be proud of yourself.
That was fun. It's, you know, I don't do as many shows, but I am speaking and on stage a lot. And so like people forget that I'm out there and I'm actually practicing every week, and it's just not always in the comedy scene. And sometimes have to remind myself even that of, well, I haven't done a stand-up show for a bit, but I'm still doing comedy.
Before we left, I told Dave, I'm like, okay, I got 3 jokes that I can't forget.
I was wondering if you told all 3.
No, I forgot one.
Yeah, I forgot 2 of mine.
Oh, I forgot the cavernous vagina. I don't know why I keep forgetting. I want to tell that every time I do vagina jokes.
Yeah. In fact, I'm gonna look right now because I think I forgot even more. I put them in my phone, and that kind of actually, I think that messed me up because I didn't write them down.
It does make a difference to write things on paper because you have that actual act of hand to paper to hand to pen to paper.
Right. So there are three that I
Aesthetic action.
there are three that I did not do that I planned on doing. But most of my set was new stuff, so that was a lot to like
Mm-hmm.
practice doing all of
Yeah,
that.
it's hard to remember it all at one time, all the new stuff. Did you pick out what mine was just tags on jokes that I already had?
Yes, I loved your tag because you had told me your tag, the backing up tag was awesome. I loved that. And there was another tag that I remember you saying, and I can't remember what it was now, but
it was on my dog joke.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, so I know some people still are having, oh,
I just
okay,
remember
that's a
laughing
weird
a
joke,
couple
but
times where I didn't expect to, like it catching me off guard. So I was like, oh, that's new.
well, and then it's funny because I've been telling that one, it's not even a joke, but it's just a line I've been saying. And then last night I go to bed, I'm sleeping, I'm dreaming that I run into an ex-boyfriend of mine. Not a boyfriend, really, somebody I used to date. You've met him, as a matter of fact. Okay. So I dreamed that I'm with him, we're hanging out and stuff, and he's like, "You want to come up to my apartment?" And I said, "Sure." I must have not been married in the dream, I guess. And
that's the only time you'd do that.
Yeah. So then I went up to his apartment and I was like, "Excuse me, I gotta use the restroom." And I went in the restroom and then I saw that there was, well, it doesn't even matter. Let's just say the restroom wasn't working properly. Oh. So I couldn't pee. Which brings me to the point that all I do when I dream now. So now I'm at the age that even my sex dreams turn into just dreams where I'm unable to use the toilet because I really in real life have to pee and I'm just not awake enough to get up yet.
You know what you need to do is just have a fetish about water sports, and then you can combine the two.
I got up this morning, I'm like, oh, I think I had a sex dream last night. It's like, no, I didn't. It was a pee dream.
I was robbed of my sexual dream.
That's all I get. That's all the variety I get,
Yeah. So last night was fun. Monday was fun. We had a good group.
It really was. That was a nice show too. We had Kermit Apio and Adam Tiller.
And Carol Freeman.
Duh. How could I forget? Yeah, and so it's kind of nice to have people come from different places. Yeah. People that we don't see all the time. So
and Adam is not hosting. Adam is headlining Tacoma Comedy Club tonight.
Who is Adam?
Isn't tonight the night? Wasn't he doing Thursday night? Adam Tiller at Tacoma Comedy Club?
I don't know. I thought he's doing Spokane.
Maybe he's doing Spokane.
But I don't know what day.
Okay. Well, now he's headlining at one of the clubs, and that's exciting to see him do that. So
and he's a nice guy and he works really hard. So
I was gonna give the shout out. I totally messed up the shout out.
Well, maybe not. You could be right. I could be wrong. I had a Zoom training all day, so my brain's mush at this point.
3:30 headlining Spokane Comedy Club. You are right.
Okay.
Spokane Comedy Club tonight. So Spokane friends. Yes, Spokane friends, and I know I've got a few of you. Get out there to Spokane Comedy Club, and Adam Tiller is hilarious. He's got kind of a dry sense of humor, a little bit, I would say. You got to pay attention. You got to be smart enough to get the jokes, and so pat yourself on the back when you're laughing because he's a good guy.
Yeah,
very funny.
And Kermit Apio is always such a delight.
Oh yeah, he's such a nice, and everybody on the show, such nice people. Kermit Apio is an awesome guy. It's so cool when you have people that are doing a good job and also
nice. I try not to book assholes. I have booked some assholes.
I think that's a good rule.
I'm not going to say who, but there are some people that kind of,
yeah,
it's okay.
You don't know until you get into the process. And you're like, oh shit, I knew that. I wouldn't have.
Well, yeah, and sometimes it's like if I had a choice, And one was more funny and one was less funny, but one was nice and one was an asshole.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I remember when I was getting started and Corey and Andrew were teaching the class and they were saying, to do well in comedy.
No.
Well, no, they were saying you have to be
Okay.
you have to be easy to work with, you have to be funny, and you have to sell tickets. And as long as you're 2 out of 3, you'll get booked. You don't have to be all 3. You can be not as funny, but you can sell tickets and be easy to work with. So
true.
Yeah.
You just got back from your big thing in Florida.
Oh my God, that was amazing. So I went to the Encounter 360, which is put on by 360 Nation, which is a group of people who mostly know each other by blogging on LinkedIn. And it's a lot of writers who share their thoughts and have had a lot of Zoom meetings over the last few years. They started doing a weekly Zoom call during COVID, and that's continued even afterwards. And a lot of us have collaborated together. And out of the 50 people, I've met one of them in person. Some of them I've had a lot of conversations with and done a lot with, but never met in person. So that was really great just to get together in person. But personally, for me, Dennis, who was putting the event on, asked me to kick it off and to do some comedy at the beginning and really just set the tone for the event.
Right.
That was such an honor, first of all, but it was so fun just to work with that, and a challenge for me to do 15 minutes essentially of clean comedy. It wasn't a solid 15 because I had a little breakout in there, a couple of minutes, people interacting and bringing the room together. So it was mostly comedy with a little bit of inspiration and interaction. But that was a really good challenge for me to do that. And then during my talk, that then made me go, oh crap, these people just saw me as funny on day one. Now when I do my full presentation, that's a full 45-minute workshop, I can't not have a certain amount of humor built into it. So I had to make sure that I really upped the humor level, which is something I've been challenging myself to do.
Right.
But I was so happy with it, and it's an amazing group of people. It's a good group of people, and also from growing my business, connecting with these people on a higher level is going to be good for me. And some of them actually speak, or a lot of them speak. Some of them actually book speakers, and some of them know people who book speakers. So definitely fun, good. And it was Florida and sunny and just an amazing time.
Well, cool. How did you like Florida? Did you get out enough to really form an opinion about it? Or
mostly I was around Tampa, but it was, so I walked around downtown a ton because the first day I didn't really want to go Uber anywhere, so I just kind of wandered. There was plenty to see just right around town.
right.
And we were right by the Riverwalk area, and I really liked, the restaurants I went to. There were some things close by. I did go over to a place called Ybor City, which looks like a mile or two maybe of nightlife. That particular night was Monday night, so it was dead, but I could tell that it was a really nice vibe. Like I would like to go back there on a different night when it's actually, hopping. So I liked it. It's nowhere I would want to live. I wouldn't want to live in that climate. I like living here. And then the morning that I left, I had breakfast, went to Waffle House with my friends that I used to work with, Louise and Glenn, and they picked me up and took me to Waffle House because I was like, I don't care where we go. And they're like, what about Waffle House? I'm like, yeah, we're in the South. I hear about them all the time. And so it was fun. And then they drove me around and showed me around a little bit more and went over closer to the beaches and stuff, and then dropped me back off at the airport. So I got to see more, went on a little sightseeing adventure and caught up with them. Just spending the time and visiting was so nice because they moved about 6 months ago. And so.
Well, that's cool. Sounds like a nice time.
It was good. And it kind of got this travel bug now. Like I can't wait for the next.
Well, you're going to be traveling because you came right home and boom, off the bat got a booking.
Yeah, I have a booking.
So you're going to be traveling a lot.
Yeah, and it's first of many in this next stretch. And so I'm excited because that one's not till October. So between now and then, I know I'll have a lot more. And now I have to remember, like I'm at the point where I have to check my calendar before I quote a gig, because it's like, oh shit, like I'm already working that day, you know. So that's fun.
Well, that's cool. I last night stole the mic from Nate Jackson's club. Not on purpose, but it was in the basket of my scooter.
Stayed in the basket and came home with you.
And so I went to go to leave for work today and looked in my basket. I'm like, crap.
It's a good thing you saw it.
Need that tonight. I don't know. So I got to go take it back.
Right. Yeah.
So I'll be doing that tonight. But Jackie Turgison is doing a show there tonight, a mom's show.
That's awesome.
So I thought, as long as I've got to take that back, I might as well stay and support and watch her show. So
she puts on some good shows.
I don't know. I've never been to one of her shows. I mean, I've
been to the ones at the Elks.
Yeah. So what was I gonna say? Yeah, so I don't have to work tomorrow, and then we're on spring break. So
nice.
I can stay out late if I want to.
Yay. We and now I don't know what you have coming up, but Saturday I am going to be emceeing for the live streaming of the Daffodil Parade again. So be sure to.
Is it that time again already?
It is. So tomorrow I'll be getting ready for, reading all about all the floats. I've read through some of them. I gotta kind of, tomorrow is my study day to really do the highlighting and make sure that I have pared down what I'm gonna say.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be a lot of fun. Tim and I have done. It's at the point where we've lost count. I think we've done 4 or 5 Santa parades. And this will be the second Daffodil Parade, and then countless other events. So it's really fun. We're kind of have it down to a good flow, and it's improving every time.
Cool. The next thing I've got is Riverside Golf Course in Chehalis. April 8th, I'm featuring for Casey McLean. So I done everything before then, so I've got lots of free time. If anybody wants to book me on a show, that's cool. I will also be doing some really exciting stuff like getting a mammogram and taking Andrew to the dentist and taking my car into the shop. So,
well, that is lively, and I love the finger bangs, finger guns.
The finger bangs. I love the finger bangs too.
That's exciting, Cheri. You've got a nice adult life going on there.
Yeah, I got a great spring break, so I'm gonna have to do something decadent one night.
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
I know you're going
up at the ocean next week
with Steve.
You know what they say? All gay men are named Mark, Rick, or Steve. Don't worry, his wife will be there too. It's a family event. But that's going to be a lot of fun. Just really laid back. Just, last year I went for, I think, a night or maybe 2 nights, but I got there late the first night that I was there. So it was like 1 full day and then left the next morning. This year I actually, they've been talking about it ever since last year about doing it again. And so this year I actually blocked out the time on my calendar so that I didn't make appointments. And in fact, somebody asked me to be on a live stream podcast they do on LinkedIn on the Friday. And I basically said, if that's the day you need me, I can do it, but it would be more convenient if we do it the following week. And they were able to do it the next week. And I was like, okay, cool. Cause I would have just said yes. I'm like, oh, they asked me to do that. And I don't want to, that fear of missing out or whatever. And
right.
That way I don't have to worry. I'm still coming back Friday, but that way it's not like I have to get up and be back.
Yeah.
Noon. So, but I have to.
I'm thinking about going somewhere just for a night, maybe just by myself, because
idea.
Dave doesn't like to go anywhere. So, my mom, I think, hasn't sold her Ocean Shores house yet.
Oh.
Or I like to sometimes just go up north to Lacona or something, a quickie little getaway. There's that casino up there, that Angel of the Winds. I love that one. They have a hotel. So I might do something like that.
And there's something like, I'm looking forward to this time. It'll be a lot of fun next week, but I still would like to get a night somewhere just where I go by myself to kind of check out. And the thing is with Steve and his side, they're very chill. It's like, if you want to sit in your room and do your thing, or if you need to zone out, go for a walk, whatever, they don't care.
Mm-hmm.
next Tuesday is like my first day off, like in a while. Like every day, if I have an open day, I just like, oh, I'll run errands for somebody, I'll get this done, I'll have a Zoom. Like there's something every day, and it's not like I'm working 12 hours every day, but it eats away at you, and you just don't have one day that's got nothing. So looking forward to it.
So what's the best thing you ate and the best thing you watched this week?
Okay, well, the best thing that I ate, I had grouper, like fish, down in Florida, and I was challenged myself to get something more local, not just just something that's not on the menu up here. And it was really good. It's a white fish, and it was cooked really well, and it was at this restaurant that was right on the right along kind of the where the river and bay. I think it was kind of I don't know if we were really on the river, an inlet, or a bay, because I didn't really look on the map. I think we were in the area where they kind of come together. But they have these cool things there. It's like a floating tiki bar, and you just see this little hut, and it's like floating down the river, and you rent them and pay for your drinks and hang out. And that they were floating by. We didn't do that because I saw it like the last night there. I was like, oh, that's but yeah, I had that, and earlier the first night I was there, or the second night, because the first night I was there I was by myself, but the second night I was there, first night I met people, I went with Allison, the belly dancer. She taught us how to belly. Well, that's not belly dancing, that's but anyway, her and I, and there was several of us, went to dinner, but we were sitting next to each other, and she's like, I kind of want this grouper sandwich. I was like, yeah, I was between that or this like tenderloin sandwich. And so we both got each of those and had them cut them in half, and had half, and that was really, both of those were really good too. And I was like, I kind of like doing that. I'm gonna have to get a restaurant partner to do this more often, because then you're not committed to one thing. But
yeah, that's a good idea.
That's the best thing I ate. What was the best thing you ate?
Well, I wasn't that adventurous this week because I didn't really go that many places, but this has been my new favorite thing that I've been eating is jazz bones, coconut shrimp. But they're like chili sauce, that you dip a sweet chili sauce or whatever that you dip it in, has such a good kick. It's like, to me, like the perfect amount of heat for that particular thing.
Yeah.
Robert Moore tried some and he couldn't handle it. But
really?
It's really good. I ate it 2 weeks in a row. It was like so good when I went back. Instead of being adventurous and getting something else, I got the same thing.
Nice.
So next time I go
that
back,
toss up.
But
yeah, there's like always that toss up of like, I like this, I want to keep getting it, and I want to try something different.
Yeah. So next time I'll try something different, but it's good. I like it. So, and then the best thing I watched, I haven't finished watching yet, but because I've been watching trash. Or I haven't even really been watching that much. So when I do, I just put it on YouTube and watch old episodes of Dr. Phil. I know I'm a weirdo. But on Peacock right now, there's a documentary called Who Killed Robert Wone? And I started watching it last night as I was laying in bed, and I was like, oh, this is too good to be drowsy.
Fall asleep too. Yeah, I know what you mean.
I have to pay attention to this. So I turned it off, put on an old episode of Friends, and made a mental note to watch it this weekend. So.
Okay. Nice. Yeah, there are certain, I was actually trying to decide what to watch the other night, and there was like, nope, I can't watch that right now because I'm really just looking for something to chill my brain, not to be interested in.
Right.
Although I did watch a series on Netflix. This is out of step for me, but Allison, who's the belly dancer, she had told me to watch this show called Halston on Netflix.
Oh yeah, damn it, I forgot about that.
And so he was a designer, and I guess back in the day he was like a big deal. I had never heard of him. Sorry.
Okay, let me just have a moment. We had this moment over Messenger, but I need to have this moment in person. For a gay man in your 40s You should know who Halston is, because even though you're not as old as me when he was super relevant, it was still close enough that you should still know who he was. So that's like not knowing who, anyway, I don't know.
I was gonna say you're gonna say a name, and I'm not gonna know who they are.
Versace, I don't know.
Who I learned about in the last 6 months as well, by the way. I mean, I knew of the name, but I didn't know it was a guy.
What did you think it was?
I don't know. I mean, I didn't know if it was a man or a woman or anything. I just thought it was a designer.
Oh, well, you at least knew that.
I knew it was a brand name. I didn't know,
Right.
Anyway, so
anyway, sorry, go ahead.
No, so it was good. It was informative. It was what's the guy's name who plays Obi-Wan Kenobi? Anyway, it was that Ewan McGregor plays Halston, and I have never seen anything that I have not liked him in, and I didn't know that he was gay till I watched this show, so that was informative. But that was a joke. I don't think he's actually gay.
I was gonna say, does he really have to be gay to play gay? But
he did it. I thought he did a really good job, and it was just really informative because not only did it touch on that person's life, it touched on it spanned kind of like Forrest Gump. He really spanned like these decades from 60s up to the 90s as far as like affecting what he was having to do.
Run, Halston, run.
Right. But there was a quote in there from like 5 or 10 minutes into the first thing that I sent you, which I think will hit home with you too. And he had to continually keep reinventing himself to stay relevant, and right up until the end. And and he got really big, so there was a point where he did kind of lose control of some things and did get kind of shitty as a person, and I think that he came around, but at least according to the show. But yeah. So that was really interesting.
Well, I'm glad. I need to write that down because I might forget to watch it. I'm not gay, so they might not recommend it for me.
Maybe not. Well, I had to go search it. It didn't pop up in my recommendations.
Oh, really?
And also,
why did you search it? Did somebody tell you about it?
Yeah, Allison from Florida.
Oh, that's what you did. You just say that 5 minutes ago, and I wasn't really listening.
Okay. But also it touched on, and you said this, like it touched on the Studio 54. It touched on the fashion industry. It touched on, the fact that he, in order to get big, he had to get corporate backing, and so then there's this, kind of fight between being an artist and being a business person. Right. And then also the whole he was super close with Liza Minnelli, and that's Judy Garland's daughter. She's a famous singer.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, so it was interesting because there's other parts of culture that it touches on besides the gayness and the design. So I watched that this week. A lot of times I don't even watch anything or much that's like,
well, sometimes you watch those documentaries on Pornhub.
Right, my 8-minute documentaries. Yes. The morning ritual.
Look at this. Did I show you my forehead last night?
Wow. What did you get a tattoo?
No, I burned myself.
Oh, with your curling
hot rollers.
Oh no.
So my hot rollers rest right on my forehead, and I usually like try to stick something under there, and I didn't have anything to stick under there, so I scorched myself.
I'm sorry, that just sounds painful.
The things I do for beauty.
Like, why does it smell like burning flesh?
I know.
Oh no. Well, I'm sorry about that. So you said, what did you say you watched? I know you told me this.
Didn't I just say it a minute ago?
Yeah, I was trying to remember.
Oh no, I started to watch that.
You started to watch.
Who Killed Robert Wone? And it's like, yeah.
I'm gonna watch it later. That's right.
I'm gonna watch it this weekend because I found this lady on TikTok that tells all she does is like review documentaries, and that is like
Okay.
that's my jam. Is a doc. Get me a good documentary.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like Real Housewives of Beverly Hills,
Yeah, the real stuff.
County, Sister Wives, 90 Day Fiance.
Do you know how many guys? So I've been on a couple dating apps lately, barely. I already deleted one of them again. And so I'm only on like Bumble and Facebook right now. But on a couple of them, it's like, what TV do you watch? Or 3 shows you can't live without, or what do I like to watch? And it's like half the time it's like Real Housewives, 90 Day Fiance. And I'm just like, nope. And then I was like, well, I get along with Cheri and she watches that crap. So
Well, give them my number so we could I would at least have someone to talk about with it.
I'll be like, well, I guess if I was dating someone like that, then we would all be able to
Then
visit.
I would finally get the gay best friend that I would.
I would start dating somebody and then you'd break up with me.
Move you right out of bed.
Uh,
That's funny. I love you just the way you are.
Oh, thank you.
You notice I'm old because I sang the Billy Joel Just the Way You Are, not the Bruno Mars.
Oh, is there a Bruno Mars version?
Bruno Mars has like a song called something like that.
Okay.
I
probably just forgot it. But...
Do you know who Bruno Mars is, Andy?
Yes, okay. I do. He's good. I think, isn't he from Hawaii or had some influence in Hawaii, I think, or something?
I have no idea.
Anyway,
I don't keep up with their personal lives.
He's a singer. I know that. He's got some fun, good songs.
He's so cute. Carol and I went and saw him. We had a really good time.
You did? Oh, I am. Yeah, that's cool. I sometimes sing his song. Only that I'm want to be a billionaire. Only I change it to I'm becoming a billionaire. That's how my manifestation.
Yeah.
I'm becoming a billionaire. It's so fucking rad. Bought all of the things I never had. And then I had to change Oprah and the Queen to Elon and the King. Gonna be on the cover of Forbes magazine, smiling next to Elon and the King. Anyway.
Cool.
Got to keep it, recent.
So
that's that. What else do you want to say?
I don't know. I didn't pick a topic for this week because I knew we had just enough catching up to do that it was going to fill the time.
Well, I could share a little bit about something I'm working on, which has been, ever since I went to Chicago, I kind of got reinvigorated because I was really kind of not feeling it with some things in February-ish. And I knew that I knew that at the end of the month I was going to Chicago, and I know that every year when I go to NLV, that's a no longer virtual conference. That's like my core tribe of people on LinkedIn that, that we're friends at this point and super supportive community. And I knew that I would go there, get recharged, and just level up. That's every year. That's what I do when I go there. And it did not disappoint. But I have been forcing myself to follow up and just really be diligent about not stepping away from things that I would normally just kind of like, oh, thanks for introducing me to that person, but I'm not going to have the conversation because that's scary, or that takes, diligence or focus, or I don't quite have the answer, so I'm just going to run away from it instead of saying, oh, I don't know what to say to this, so how about we talk about that, or can I ask some clarifying questions, which is just the things that have not helped me perform well, and the reasons why I haven't gotten more stuff moved along to the level that I want has been because of those tendencies that I have. And so I've been fighting those instincts, and which is exhausting. Like, talk about like just being worn out at the end of the day. Yeah. And so it's like I'm being so much more productive, but I am so much more worn out sometimes, where it's like even today, I had I don't even remember. I had a call this morning. I had a chiropractor appointment. Then I had to go get some work done. Then I had a phone call to get ready for the Daffodil Parade. Then I had another call with some of the group from Chicago, from NLV, to kind of reinforce one of the workshops that we did there. Then I had a Toastmasters group call, and then I have this, and then my Toastmasters meeting, and I'm exhausting myself just even thinking about it. But there's a point in the middle of the day where I was like, wanted to get some stuff done on the computer, and I was like, my brain is fried. Like, I need to, like, seriously just shut my brain off as best I can. And I'm learning to appreciate the downtime to reset, which is what you're having right now. She's like,
No, I see someone left a comment, so I'm trying to find it.
Oh, I see.
I am totally listening to you, but
yeah.
Well,
Cheri,
I'm glad that you have made progress in that area, because I still. Interesting. Want me to tell you something after this? I still have a lot of trouble following up and asking for work and all that kind of stuff. So I'm proud of you for making. I do get frustrated. I will say I do get frustrated with this, because I will get a notification that there's a comment, but I cannot see it until way later on the replay of the episode. And I really wish Facebook would get better about that, because I know someone has commented and there's no way for me to see it right now.
And we appreciate your comment. And I'd like to say
thank you, Janice, for commenting.
And thank you for coming last night. It's always awesome to see.
I know, she's so supportive. I really love that. I appreciate that when comedians do that.
Janice was there. Robert Moore was there. It's good. And Frederick was there doing he was DJing. So thank you for that. That was awesome.
He was DJing and heckling Jonte.
That was, well, there was one point where I said something, I said a joke, and he was like, I just can't. Like, I can just hear him. Like, that was awesome. But it made such a fun show. He
added to. He did not detract from that.
Right. It wasn't heckling in a bad way at all.
Yeah. So yeah, it was a good night. But anyway, we have a coupon. We have a comment we can't read. So maybe if you watch the replay of this, you'll be able to see it as it happened in real time.
Yes. And the thing that, like, I guess the big thing that was the big awakening for me about a month ago was just how much I have undervalued myself and my services. And when you are in a room full of people who are transacting at a higher level, and you're like, it was, in the past, I would have felt more like, I can't wait to be at that level. And this time it was like, there's no reason I'm not at this level. And the reason I'm not getting what I want is because I'm not asking for it. I'm not pushing for it. And not even having to be pushy about it, just having the confidence to have a conversation. And if people ask, just say, well, this is what I can offer. And also having the nerve to turn down things and not chase little stuff, because that's what I've been doing for a long time, has been that scarcity mindset of I need to try and get any business I can. If that's a little gig here, a little thing there, I need to go after it. And my new kind of shift was, well, those aren't going to support me to the point where I can quit the day job. That's not what I'm going after. If I'm going to be transacting at this level, I need to be pursuing these higher amounts and bigger businesses. In order to do that, I have to have conversations with those. And then I can do all the small stuff for the fulfillment and the community support that I want to. It doesn't mean I never will. It's not, I don't ever see myself saying I'm too big for your event necessarily.
Right.
When it's a small, local thing that I want to support and be helpful to. But I can't pursue that as thinking that's going to be my livelihood for growing my business. So. Well,
you're growing by leaps and bounds right now. I have something new coming up, but it's still in the works, so I'm not really. Only a couple people know about this, so
I can't wait.
I'm still, outlining it and stuff like that. So we will see how it all comes out. And I just want to know if you noticed anything about the message that I sent you that I noticed.
I did, and I can't wait to chat with you about it. So
yeah,
I think we will see everybody soon.
Do it with the air of mystery. All right, bye.
Bye, everybody.